Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing today. We're going to do a full engine flush. So I've took the radiator cap off. So that on the bottom of the radiator, I'll show you down here. There's your drain plug, that little blue thing there. Unscrew it and it'll drop down a little bit and it'll trickle out. Well, I'm not going to wait for it to trickle for that an hour and a half, so I'll put my big yellow tub underneath here. It's all clean inside. I'm going to unscrew that, get it so far, and then I'm going to pull it out. It's on an hook drain plug, so make sure you put that in nice and tight. As soon as I've drained all that off, I'll be undoing this hose because there'll be some antifreeze still in the bottom, so we're going to drain this pipe off into here. I unclipped it from the inside. When you push it back in, the clip will hook on again, so it won't drop out. If you spill anything, guys, make sure you wipe it up with a cloth. Because there's still antifreeze, and if you can see there, it's still dripping out the bottom of there because I haven't put the clip back in. So I'm going to do that now. Push it up and then it hooks in. See, it's hanging down now. Now you can tighten it up. Get it as far as you can and it'll stop dripping, and then you can tighten it up with your little screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver. That's what I'll do it. Now I'm just going to stretch over, just tuck the side of this hose in, and then I'll lift this bottom hose off. You're going to get some shit falling into your antifreeze off the bottom, of marling around, bits falling off the pipes, bit of dirt. That's why you've got to run it through a strainer or a filter of whatever kind before you put this antifreeze back in, if you're going to use it again, okay? So be mindful of that, guys. Spill out, so right, we're just going to let that drip for a bit. So the radiator's empty now. This bottom hose is. So now we're going to pull this tub out of the way, put it under the carport, and see if there's any telltale signs of any issues with my cylinder head gasket. And if you look at that, there's not one bit of oil in there. There's no oil residue and nothing in that. And that's what you want. You don't want any shit in it, because you will see puddles of oil in that and vice versa. Because you'll be having antifreeze in your oil and whatever, and it's like, it mixes, it's not good. So I know for a fact that I've got a good cylinder head and I've got no issues with it, because it runs well. Okay guys, so this is the antifreeze that I took off out of my radiator and drained it all out of my system. This is the antifreeze that's got to be run through a sieve. This is the sieve that I use. It's a glass tube. This is what you put sort of like spaghetti in. But if you look at that, look how fine that is. You can't even see the holes in it. I mean, it's super fine. So that's the best thing I could find anyway. I did try one of these things, but that was just a bag of shit. So anyway, so I'm going to use the jug to fill this up to the bottom of the filter. Then this is going to be poured into this jug, and then this is going to be poured into this old tub, which has only had antifreeze in from the last time. I just had it hanging around, so that's there. So that's going to be poured into there. So this is the plan, and that's what I'm going to do. So I won't talk, just follow. All right. Trying to do this as smooth as I can, because I'm standing behind the camera tripod, trying not to make a mistake and spill it all over the place. I've not got a single drop on me yet. Shouldn't have said that. For me. This is already mixed antifreeze as well, guys. This G8, this G48 rather. So I don't do that 50-50. I don't mind doing it in my wife's car, but I'm not putting it in my Mercedes. The 50-50. I know people turn around and say, yeah, well, if you have some, you know, something goes wrong and you have to lose all your antifreeze, you've lost all that money. Well, that's your way of thinking. That's just the way it is. I'm not a penny pincher like that. So I just use the proper stuff all the way through. And it's in all year round, so I don't need to worry, as long as you've got all your hoses and your clips and everything sorted out. You shouldn't have any issues. I had a good look around for different filters, and this is one of those coffee filters that you get them jugs with them, but I broke the glass one, so that's just the way it is. I would have preferred this thing to be plastic, but no doubt I'll break the bleeding thing sometime or another. Should be getting near the top shortly. Oh shit. Shouldn't have said out. Anyway. That's what you get for saying something about spilling stuff. That's done. This now goes in there because this is my antifreeze little setup. I'll put that in a bin bag, tie the top, and it's sorted. I'm not going to put any more of that into there because I use this jug to pour it into my radiator, so this tub would be poured back into this, so I might as well just leave that as it is. So I'll just cover this up now and go and take my cover off, and we'll get cracking on the engine and we'll pour this in. Okay, I'm going to undo that nut. Might be tight, might come out easy, I have no idea. Let's give it a go. Oh, yeah, I didn't expect that. I thought I might have struggled with that. I could have jacked this up and put some blocks underneath. If you're going to do this, if you want to struggle like I am and do it like this, but you can do it with a bit of blocks of wood anyway, so we might get stuff pouring out of here. I'm assuming we will, but I can't get a tub under, so that's just the way it is. I'm going to have to flush all this away afterwards. That was easy enough to take out. I don't even think there's a copper washer on that or anything. That could have come out anytime. Wasn't in tight, which doesn't fill me with confidence from the last person who's done this job. Okay guys, this is the best angle I can get for the camera and for me to get here and talk about it. Okay, so we've drained the radiator. We've put the radiator plug back in at the bottom. The hose is loose. Right, let me just say this. Since you've had your vehicle, if you've never flushed it and you have no idea if the previous owner flushed it, I suggest you give your engine a good flushing out. Now you can either take the thermostat out or not, it's entirely up to you, but you are going to be flushing it in cold water, so this thermostat is not going to open. Okay, it's not going to open. So if you take your drain plug out on the side of your engine block, it'll drain out of there, but it won't come out of this section. Okay, now if you've got any shit in your engine and it gets clogged up down your thermostat, I'm not saying it is going to do, I'm just saying if it does, that's not good. So I would suggest you do this, what I'm going to tell you to do on a 410D engine. Okay, I suggest you take the thermostat out. If you put a brand new one in, put it back in again. If you haven't, don't go to the shop and buy a little shitty one for £7. Don't be a tight bastard. Buy a brand new one, OEM one, and put that in. Mercedes is better than all the other ones, okay? They're better made, they're better quality, okay? So that aside, this is how I would set this off. Right, so you've drained all the antifreeze, but you will have antifreeze in this pipe here, okay? So undo that Jubilee clip, pull the pipe off, and just drain it to the side. Don't pull it down dead fast, because you're going to get it all over your face if you're lying underneath like I am. Once you've done that one, undo the other Jubilee clip that's on the thermostat housing. That's this section. There's a Jubilee clip for the rest of this pipe here. Take that off, pull the hose out of the way, okay? And make sure when you put this hose back on, you put it the right way. This hose will go on the other way around, but if you put it the other way around, so this end onto that section, it'll rub against this alternator, okay? So if you put it on the right way like that, it misses the alternator. That's the clue to it, okay? So make sure you put it on the right way around. So anyway, so you've took the hose off, so you take this hose off, you've took this hose off. Now you have to undo that bolt. See that bolt there I'm pointing to? And you've got a bolt on the top as well, so you've got to take that off. 10mm they are. When you take them off, put them to one side. Don't be losing them. They've got a little like star washer, whatever it is, what you've got on, I have no idea, but don't lose them and put them back on. Also, when you're tightening them back up, there's no torque setting for these. There probably is, but I don't bother with that. Just tighten them up nice and tight. Don't get carried away, because you'll end up stripping the threads in the part that's connected to the engine block. So don't be tightening your bolts too tight, because you'll end up stripping the threads, okay? So you've had this hose off, you've had this hose off, you've undone this housing, you've lifted it out of the way, and you've also got these two sensor wires as well. I find it's easier to just pull them off, just so you can do the thermostat and put it all back on, and then put them all back on. Make sure you don't get them mixed up. This one on my side, this one here, is got a yellow wire and it's longer than the other one, so I can't get them mixed up, okay? So that's what you would do when you're putting it all back on. If you do what I'm telling you, the way that I've said it, and then do it in reverse when you're putting it all back on, you'll find it easier. Also, I would suggest you, because the water is going to come out of this housing when we flush the engine block and the drain plug on the engine block, it's going to come out of this housing and it's going to pour this way. So I would suggest you take this wire out, put the wire out of the way from the alternator, and put a plastic bag on it. I'll show you what I've done in a second, but basically that's how I would take it all off and put it all back on, okay? And do it in reverse. And make sure if your hoses are shit and your Jubilee clips are crap, replace them and put new ones on. Don't make all this effort and then end up doing a shitty job and fucking cheat on something. But don't put a crap thermostat in, okay? Buy a new one, OEM one, okay guys? This part's going to be done now. I'm going to pull all this off now. I'm not going to show you how to do it. It's easy enough, okay? Just follow what I said and do it, because I can't film and get a spanner in there and show you how to do it all. Just do exactly how I've showed you, okay? So it's that one, this one, then the bottom hose. Take the two nuts off, lift the housing out of the way, pull the wires off, pull this plug out, put a bag on, and everything will be fine. And make sure you put your thermostat in the correct way, okay? There is a video on my channel and I'll show you how to put it in correct way. All right, cool. Okay guys, there you go. Got it on as best I can, pulled it round the front as best I can. You know, it's not gonna probably get to the front where the belts are. You might get some dripping, but really you just want to, you can see what I'm trying to do. It's common sense. Don't get it fucking soaking, all right? So I'm gonna get them hoses on now and we're gonna get it pouring. Okay, I'm gonna take this top hose off now. Cold water hose pipe on it. I'm going to push it in into the end of this hose, and we're going to tape it up so it doesn't come off. Let's open it fully. I've not got it turned on yet, but I want to open it full. shove it in. There we go. Get some tape on it, because I'm not going to stand it holding this thing in. And you don't want to be holding it in and it keeps falling out, because you're just going to end up soaking all your electrics and stuff like that. Don't add to his workload, alright? Okay, let's go and turn the tap on and you'll hear the water coming through. So now that's coming through the engine. I'm going to lift the camera down and I'll show you. Watch. I can get some splashes on the camera now, but that's why I bought an Action camera. See it coming out of the thermostat housing? There we go. Let's go and see the engine block. We're going to do a reverse flush now. If you look there, you can see there's the top hose, which is not onto here now, it's got an extra pipe into here. The water's going to come out the top. I'll just show you underneath. There's the hose, been taped in to the bottom hose because we're going to force the water up to the top. Show you the thermostat housing that I've put in place. I'll hold the camera so it doesn't. There you go, I've put the thermostat housing on so you can see it there. So no water's going to come out of that while this flush is on. Then when I've done all this, that thermostat housing will be coming back off and I'll be putting the thermostat back in. But for this exercise, the thermostat has been removed, okay? I'll just show you the drain plug. Put the drain plug back in as well. You can see the drain plug on the side. That's been put on with old washer. When I've finished doing all this flushing, I'll be taking that drain plug back out to continue the flush for a bit, and then I'll be putting the new copper washer on with the drain plug and tighten it up. And if you didn't know, that's a 17mm nut. Okay, so we're going to do that now. So let's get that water pumping on. Also, if you look in your manual, it tells you if you're doing a flush to open these vents. So that's closed. I don't know whether it matters whether it's in the red or the blue or the red, but they're closed and you should have them like that, because it opens, well, whatever it is in the cooling system, in your heater matrix and that. So that's how you should have them. Okay guys, just so you know. So now we're going to turn the water on and we'll start flushing it. As you can see, the water is just as clean as it was the other way. So I'm going to let this run for a while. Any antifreeze that I got on the floor yesterday or the day before has all been well flushed away. Okay guys, while this is running now, I'm going to reach underneath and I'm going to pull the drain plug out. Because this has had 10 minutes. It's just clean water, there's no issues with it. So I'm just going to reach under, like I said, pull the drain plug out and let that run for another 5 minutes. Okay, Okay, the drain plug's off, and you'll notice this water's stopped now because the water's taking the easiest route, which is straight into the bottom of the engine and running out of the drain plug. So I've just turned the tap fully on and it's not getting up to the top of the engine. So top. Get a clip on the radiator clip. Make sure you put all your clips and everything back on, guys. Make sure you tighten it all up proper. Good and tight. Okay, now everything's been tightened up. We're going to fill the radiator up, which will in turn will fill the cylinder head and the engine block, and once the engine starts it'll pump the water around the heater matrix and it'll flush that out as well. So once it's been running for about 5-10 minutes, we're going to pull the bottom hose off, let all that drain out, fill it back up again, and we're going to do that a couple of times. Okay. Right, now I'm going to take this hose pipe off the bottom hose because we don't need that now. When you put the hose back on, you don't have to fully tighten up the Jubilee clip because we're going to be doing 3 or 4 flushes now with the engine running. So you're going to be taking this hose on and off 3 or 4 times. So don't fully tighten it up, okay? Don't matter if it drips a bit. I'm happy with that. That's good. Yeah. There you go. Brand new copper washer. Oh God. I've got the camera exactly where I was going to put my arm through, but at least you can see. Oh shit. Guys, you're just going to have to put up with that view of it because it's just fell off, as you just noticed. Plus I've got to put my arm through the gap where the camera was. So let's get this tightened up. Now there might be a torque setting for this, I have no idea. I put a copper washer on. Whether there's supposed to be one on there, I don't know. There wasn't one on when I took it off. So. I'm putting a copper washer on and I'm tightening it up as hard as I can get it. Which is a bit awkward. Get a lot of leverage because I've got a pipe here, so you've got to do it in little bits. A bit more. That'll do me, that. The things I do to show you guys. Got water in the top, bottom hose is on, top hose is on, drain plug is on. We've also got the thermostat housing on, connected to the bottom hose, and there's no thermostat in, so we're going to start it up now. See now the force of that water pump working, that'll force the water up through the matrix, and we've got it open so it should be getting the bubbles out. I'm just making sure it's topped up proper. See the bubbles? Make sure you keep it topped up. You might think the way that I've done this is over the top, but I'm just showing you the way that I do it. Now some people just flush the radiator, put an hose on the top, flush the engine out and that's it. But you still need to take your thermostat out, because obviously you're not going to be flushing your engine. It's just not going to flush properly if you've still got your thermostat in. Warm already, that. Make sure you keep topping it up, alright. I'm going to turn this water off, just going to give it a bit of a rev. But before I do that, I want to put my cap on because I don't want the water to be vibrating all over the top, alright? Down a little bit as I revved it up, because that force is pushing the coolant up through the matrix. Now look at that, I've not lost any water, nothing's gone, but it's gone down. Like I say, you really need to give it a bit of a run. Hasn't gone down a lot. Personally, I think this has been a good engine flush. It's thorough, it's gone over everything. You take from this video what you want, you can just do certain parts of it if you want. I'm going over the top to try and show you how I've done it. Right, I'm going to turn the engine off now, and I'm going to pull the bottom hose off, I'm going to drain all the water out, and then we're going to do it again. And then I'm going to do it 3 times. I'm going to stretch in this time because I don't want to get fucking soaked again. That was all nice and clean, that, guys. Clean water from the rad and the engine block. So the hose is going back on now. I'm going to do it again. So after I've done this one, and I've revved it up, and it's all nice and clean at the bottom, which I expect it to be, fill it up one more time, leave it ticking over. I'm going to go in, get changed, and I'm going to go for a drive. I'll pull in at the side of the road, check the water level, because you can't beat a good drive on the road to get all the air bubbles out of your matrix and stuff like that. Alright guys, Okay, after yesterday I checked it all over, no leaks or anything like that. This is how we're just taking it for a run, not going, well, we're not going that far. We've just been over to Fleetwood and we've just nipped into Charlie because Mrs. wanted to do a bit of shopping, old bargains and whatnot. So we're now just going to get on the motorway and we're going to go back up to our place, which is about 10 miles away. So we're going to get on the motorway. And I've got no issues with it. I sorted all the pipes out yesterday, got no leaks like I just said. If you look there, you can see the temperature gauge. It's in a nice position, no issues. Okay, just got back and we're gonna drop this water out of this radiator and we'll see what it's like, because we've done this, just done, oh, it's a good 60, nearly 70 mile round trip from where I live. This will have had a really good flushing with the water pump on, water getting nice and hot. Let's try and capture all this proper without me getting soaked. Well, that didn't go according to plan. Yeah. Shit happens, guys. Well, at least it's nice and warm. Oh, my arse is wet, but at least it's warm. So let's go and have a look at this water and see what the flush has done. Alright guys, let's have a look at this, what we just dropped out. Right, I've just done a 60, I don't know, nearly 70 mile round trip and back. That's the colour of the water, the clean water that was in there. That colour, I think that's where it's come out of the matrix, where it's gone up through the pipes. You're only going to flush your matrix if you've got your engine running or you take it for a drive, because it has the force of the pump to pump it through the pipes to go up through the matrix. When you've got the matrix, when you've got your heater settings to open, it'll pump all the way through, and that's what that is, because it was clean water before of nearly a 70 mile round trip, and I'm pleased with that. That's very good. Look at that, there's no crap in it at all. You got a few little speckles. So what I'm going to do now is, it's all been finished dripping underneath. I'm going to connect it up, fill it all full of water, have it running over again, get all the bubbles out the system, rev it up a bit, get it all ready, and tomorrow we're going to go for another drive and then we're going to show you exactly the same. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put that jug, that's the jug, and we'll leave that there, and tomorrow we'll compare it. Okay, there's no point putting antifreeze in if your engine's not flushed proper. You're not going to have it nice and clean. I'd be quite happy with that, but I'm going to try it a bit, get it a bit better. Okay, so that's the jug, that'll stay there till tomorrow. Okay, we're draining this out now because I've just got back from doing the Manchester Ring Road, which is about 35 miles, something like that. So once this is emptied in, we're going to get it on the bench and we'll compare it to yesterday's. Okay. And there's the jug from yesterday. So let's just keep this running. Okay, here we go with the bucket. Right, wife snipped out, so I pinched that one yesterday out of the cupboard, and I've just got another one out there. So before she gets back, I've got to get these washed in the dishwasher and back in the cupboard, because you know what they're like, they do like to moan. So is that a bit clearer? What do you think? I think so. So that extra flush did well, but that's good enough for me. I'm not going to do any more flushing. I think that's pretty good. Let's give it a good stirring. Let's have another look. Yeah, you can see the difference, can't you? I mean, I could do 3 more, but we're not. That's good enough for me. So I'm going to get my antifreeze in, and we're nearly done with the job, guys. Okay, cool. Okay, just fitted the thermostat in. That was easy enough to do because I'd had the pipes and all the fittings off in the last couple of days. It was easy enough to just whip it back in. It only took me 10 minutes. When you put your little drain plug in, the blue thing at the bottom of your radiator, make sure it's got that little rubber O-ring on it as well. Make sure that's in, and make sure that it's in good and tight. Okay guys, so now we're going to put the antifreeze in. And we're going to use the stuff that we put through the sieve. Okay, we're going to put that in first. I suppose the antifreeze, if you're using 50-50 and you're taking it out and you want to reuse it, I suppose you can reuse it again, but before you put it back in, strengthen it with some neat antifreeze. And when this radiator's full, I'm going to move this camera off the engine, because whenever you start your engine and you've got your camera right next to it, don't matter what vehicle you've got, your engine sounds like a bloody bag of bolts. So I'm going to take my camera on the inside, and we're going to start it from the inside. I'm not going to rev it up too much, because the water pump will do its business by getting this antifreeze up through the matrix, and it will gradually drop the level in this radiator, and we'll have to keep adding to it. All my neighbours, yeah, nearly all of them have got pets and cats. I'm not really into pets, but I don't wish any harm to them, so I've got to wash all this down, because it's sweet smelling and it gets inside them. It's not good. So be mindful of that, guys. Okay, just do what you're supposed to do. I'm getting there. Been underneath and checked. I've got before. I've got no leaks. It's nothing worse than doing a job. Remember, guys, before you do it, when you're doing all this flushing on your engine, absolutely make sure you've got good hoses. Yeah, good hoses and clips. Don't be making all this effort to just then find out that you've got a leak. Okay, so I'm going to put my cap on because it's full to the top there now. We're going to start it, and we're going to let the pump all this new antifreeze up through the engine. Take my camera with me, we'll start it. Always sounds better in here, guys. Okay. A bit of a rev to get my lights off. Couple of minutes. For that water pump to get it up through the matrix, and we'll go and check it. And we'll top it up again, alright? Yeah, I know my videos are long, but I've watched some other ones on YouTube, and they have it all over within 10 minutes. You know, I like to just show you how it is. I mean, you can flirt through whatever you want. You can do a 5-minute flush if you want, flush your radiator out, flush your engine block, but if you're going to do it proper, do it proper. I've just gone over the top to show you. You know, you'll all turn out, yeah, he's alright Jeffrey, but fucking hell, these videos are long. Well, that's just the way they are, you know. Skip to the next guys if you want. I just show you how to do it proper, that's all. Let me just put that on the arm and on the ground. Down a bit, so we're going to rev it up a bit now. Nice engine this one, it really is. That will be really pumping it up through the matrix now, and both of them are open. As you can see, they're both open. So keep pulling the doors, keep the sound in, or sound out rather. Cupfuls rather, and then let's take the cap off, do it again. Low setting on the blower, that's fine, but when you put that one on, it's like a jet engine. That's too noisy, I can't do with that shit. So we just leave it on the low one. And I can feel warm air blowing out of the side here because the engine's getting warm, even though it doesn't register much there. Get some fuel in on. It's warm, I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it out the side. But having the engine revving will get them bubbles out of the system, guys. You know, any trapped air that's anywhere in your engine block or your cylinder head or anything like that, you want to get them all out. I've said this before, but it's not a race when you're doing your flush, guys. Just make sure you do it proper. It's outside your house, you know, you can do this yourself. It's not hard to do. Take your time, do it proper. I don't really need to go and do have a drive on the road, show you my temperature gauge going up, because you're just going to see the needle get up to a certain part. You know, do we really need to prolong this video any longer? I think this is probably near the end now. Let's just have that last look. I think that's it, guys. I hardly put any in then. I don't know. Thimble full. So I think this video's done now. Remember, when you've done this job, when you do go out for a drive and you've done a couple of miles or 10 miles, you pull into a lay-by, make sure you take your antifreeze to top it up again, because you might get an extra little bit going down. But as long as you've got all your joints clear, all your joints tightened and all your hoses are correct, and you put your new thermostat in and all that lot, you really shouldn't have any issues with overheating or anything like that, guys. If it is, it'll be some other reason, but it won't be your cooling system. It's very important you have your cooling system working 100%, no blockage or anything like that, okay? Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.